resource that I'm going to share with you is Math Assessment Project. Math Assessment Project is one of the projects developed by Mathematics Assessment Resource Service. The goal of Math Assessment Project is developing formative assessment lessons and rich summative tasks to support common state standards. Now let's go to the website to see more about what is Math Assessment Project. So there's several ways to get to this website. You can go here on this web address, or if you just type in Google Math Assessment Project, you should be able to get there pretty easily. I would suggest you to bookmark this because it's actually a wonderful resource to have. The modules that I'm going to talk about are a little bit about what this project is about, lessons, tasks, and tests, and then I'll share with you how I have used it in my classroom. So first of all, what is this project about? We already said there are performance tasks and lessons, but let's take a look at how these tasks and lessons are divided into different categories and how we can use those in classroom. The materials that you can find here are summative tasks or tests, and there are many lessons that you can use for classroom challenges. Uh, Actually, these lessons are pretty detailed. There are professional development modules. If you would like to do a professional development in your school, you can find the resources here for that. Now, when you look at the tasks right here, I'm going to click on that. The tasks are divided into three different sections. Novice tasks, these are the short items specifically applying to a certain skill or standard. Then we have apprentice tasks. These are a little bit more talking about several aspects of mathematics. And then we have expert tasks. Expert tasks are rich tasks where students might use the things they do in really daily life. There might be several concepts together, and let's take a look at what all of these individual tasks look like. I'm going to first go ahead and click on the lessons right here. If you click on the lessons tab, these are all the lessons that this math assessment project provides. There's 100 lessons in total, 20 at each grade 6 and 8 and 40 for high school. Now these lessons are pretty intense, so let's take a look at one of the lessons. I'm going to click on a 6th grade lesson right here. First one, adding and subtracting directed numbers. Here's a little bit preview of the lesson. Looks like that I'm going to be dealing with some integers, and here it tells you what this lesson is going to be about. If you click on right here the complete lesson link, it will give you about 30-35 page document that has all the resources for this lesson and how to use it in classroom. Here's a PowerPoint that goes with the lesson. And if you read this page right here, it actually tells you that how much time you need to deliver this lesson successfully in classroom. And then, I lost that for a moment. Furthermore, if you look on that, it talks about, that is talking about 6th grade number sense standard, and these are the mathematical practices that we're going to be talking about. What is the lesson type? It's a concept development lesson type. So that was one of the lessons from 6th grade. If you click back here, I'll take you back to the all lessons right here, and you can choose whichever lessons you wanted to use for your classroom. Here, using proportional reasoning, this is what we've been doing in our proportional reasoning class, and actually my group's task was also about proportional reasoning. So if I click on that, it's going to give me one of those proportional reasoning problem. It's very interesting. Find some time to look at it. Next thing I'm going to talk about, those are the lessons for all different grades. I have used a lot of those for high school right here. I've used quite a few of these. Next, I'm going to talk about tasks. This is my favorite thing. If you do not want to open up a 34-page document and go through page by page to see which lesson you wanted to do, click on the tasks right here. Again, there are quite a few tasks right here, and these are all the high school tasks and these are all the middle school tasks. uh, you can pick a short task that you wanted to do it in your classroom. So I'm going to click on middle school and I'm going to click on novice tasks right here. Novice tasks are the ones that are short tasks. So if you click on short tasks in, let's say, expressions and equations, click right here, you find the task right away. Here's all the short tasks that you could assign to your classrooms. So here, a little bit about scientific notations. Here is solving an equation, finding x and y values. So, yep, several examples of those short tasks that talk about expressions and equations. Geometry, here's another one. Geometry short task. This one is finding the length, perimeter. This one is talking about the area. So once you're done, you might have to pick and choose which one you want to use. Like this one is pretty interesting looking. And this one, we're talking about parallel lines right here. So you can pick and choose which one you want to do it for your classroom. You can use one of these as an activator to start your lesson. So those are all the tasks that we can use in your classroom. I'm going to share a few that I've done and how I have done that. This one, font size cans, right here. I did that with my geometry class, and this is what the task looked like. I did that after we were done teaching surface area and volume, and after we were done teaching what happens when you change the dimension, how does it affect your volume versus how does it affect your surface area. And I did that as a summative task after I was finished teaching the lesson. So what this task has, we have a task, we have a scoring rubric. If you look at over here, there is student work that was already scored. If you're having hard time, how do I grade this? You can click on this. There is the student work already scored, and you can see if you're using the rubric correctly. Another one that I have done in my classroom is Jane's TV. Click on this one. Here, Jane's TV is about Pythagorean theorem. Cool. So you can see, find out the height of the screen. Again, pretty interesting task. You can do it right after you're finished teaching your lesson to see if they have actually got a good grasp on the concept. A few more that I have done in my class. I've done quite a bit of these, but another one that I have done in my classroom is here, patchwork. Let me show you that task. Here, this one is pretty interesting. Looking for pattern, finding out what happens next. So there's a lot of these tasks right here. You can explore that on your own. Next thing is tests. Tests are, so now there are not a whole lot of tests available. If you look at it, for high school, these are the tests for high school. Here's the tests for middle school. I have not done a complete test from this website. What I have done, I'm going to show you that, I have done is taken pieces out of this and used it as like one assessment, a short assessment. Like here, you can take this one page out and see if you can apply that. Like here's Jane's TV again. So you can use one page out of this. You don't have to use the whole task, whole lesson, whole test at once. Let's take a look at this one. I have done this in my class. I took the graph and just talked about slope of different parts of the graph when we did this in class. You can also talk about distance, how much distance has been traveled, what was the speed. So there's several different ways you can go about using these assessments in class. Okay, so now I've already talked about how I have used it in my class. I've used tasks individually. I have also used small pieces of the lessons, and I've also used small chunks of the tests over here. Let's talk about PT modules. So take a look over here. If you want to convince other teachers to use this website at your school, you can actually, here, you can do a PD with them. And if you click on, let's say, formative assessment PD, it tells you exactly how to deliver this PD effectively. Different videos, different handouts that you can print out for your teachers in class. So, pretty wonderful resource. I really hope you try this in your class. And thank you for listening to me.